What's up, y'all? I'm back out here on the range on another early sunny morning, trying to get out here and beat this heat, although it's going to be in the mid 80s, so it's basically an 80-degree calm before a 90-degree storm we got headed towards us for the next week or so in the 90s. So trying to get a few tests done early out here. I've got some really good stuff planned. We're going to start it out with some good old 9mm HST. So I got the jelly contraption ready to roll with a couple of chronos and 2 fresh blocks of gel. First test of the day, so y'all know you get a really nice clear picture on this one. Of course, once again, I'm using a heavy clothing barrier that's got the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got here is a request that was made for me to do a retest on the Federal 9mm HST 124 standard pressure versus the Plus P. Now, I have tested these in the past against each other in my P365. It's been a few years ago, and that was with no clothing barrier on my old setup, so it's definitely due for a retest. Federal HST, I mean, that's really all you've got to say here. It's some fantastic stuff pretty much across the board with maybe one or two exceptions, so I expect some really good stuff here. Now, again, this is a retest, so I had to go back and look at some stuff and take some notes, and y'all know me, I'm an old school pen and paper kind of guy, so I've actually got something really cool I want to show you right quick that was sent to me. Worked out very good because, again, I'm an old school pen and paper kind of guy. I've got the Titanium EDC pen. Now, this was sent over to me by the folks at Titanium, but I'm not getting any kind of payment for this. I don't have any affiliate links, so if y'all pick something up from them, I'm not getting any kickbacks or anything. They just wanted me to check it out, so I thought I'd make a little video on it because I think this is a super nice pen. So this is their Barrel X model. As you can see, it's got like the bolt action style going on there. Really cool action on it. Very, very nice positive click in the lock positions, and it's a nice rider. It actually takes G2 refills, so you can use like your Snyder, your Parker, it actually works on Fisher Space Pen refills too. I've actually got one of those ordered. With this being full titanium and a space pen refill, I mean, you've got the ultimate EDC pen writing in water, zero gravity, upside down, grease, anything, so that'll make it really the ultimate. Now, most of their stuff is full titanium. They've got little EDC rulers, so full titanium construction here with the exception of the top spinner there. That's actually a brass spinner, so you can get just a tungsten, another separate tungsten tip here if you rather have that, but this is pretty cool. You know, I don't know about the spinner. It's not very practical, but it does give you something to do here, and it's on really nice ceramic bearings, and it's got a little ceramic ball on the end, so nice glass breaker, temple smasher, whatever you might use it for. Although this being titanium, I mean, you can see the possibilities here. Very cool looking design on it too, and these little slots are more than just aesthetics. They actually sell little tritium vials, so you can put little tritium vials in those. So really cool, nice stuff that they sell, and very nice customizations and stuff you can do with it. Now, I'm filming this one-handed, or else I would show you how strong this is. I mean, it's titanium, so I'm sure y'all know you're not gonna bend this thing, you're not gonna break it. I'm putting all my weight, all the strength I can into that thing. I mean, you ain't doing nothing to it. You're not marking it. I mean, look at my thumb. That is an incredibly strong, virtually indestructible pen. But back to the task at hand here, the Plus P and the standard pressure here, you're looking at 1150 FPS on this, 1200 FPS on this. Now, that was out of a 4-inch barrel, which is longer than what we're testing them out of here today, so we're gonna fall short. The last test, I did look back and make some notes with my nice titanium pen here. Both of them were about 100 FPS short out of the P365 I used before. And of course, as y'all can see here, what I'm using this time is the Canik Mete MC9 with the same length barrel, 3.1 inch. So enough of all that chit chatting, let's get this stuff set up and see what it can do. All right, let's see what this stuff's moving out here today. We're gonna do a 5-round average from each one, starting with the standard pressure first. Now, you will see multiple velocity readings from this radar. Your large numbers right here at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 across the bottom. The first one there is set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And then I've got the other set for 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. Now, remember, 1150 is what the box is saying for the standard pressure. Again, last time I got around 100 FPS short out of that 365. I'd like to see a little more than that here, but that's about what I expect. Let's see what happens. 1139, better than I expected. 1135, 75 there. 1127, 1121, and 1122, so definitely better than what I expected. Again, I'm pretty sure we were close to 100 short last time. Let's check out this average. All right, we're looking really good so far, and this makes more sense as far as a velocity difference versus a 4-inch barrel. We had an average that time of 1129 feet per second. Extreme spread was 19 with an 8.3 standard deviation, so very nice consistency here. It's HST. I mean, it is what it is. 1129 now. I've tested obviously spicier rounds from 9mm 124, but this is standard pressure, so HST is doing pretty good right here. But let's get this reset and see what happens when we add some pressure. All right, let's see what happens with the little extra pressure here. I got a feeling we're not going to see as close to the advertised 4-inch velocity out of this higher pressure, but I could be wrong. We may be right there at it. Hopefully we are. 1165, 1172, 1143, 1189, and 1159. So once again, happily, it is definitely faster than what I thought it would be. Let's check out this average. All right, so once again, some pretty good stuff right here. We had a 5-round average that time of 1166 feet per second. Extreme spread, this one was 45 with a 16.7 standard deviation. So not quite as consistent, but I ain't mad about that right there at all. 1166 here, and if you remember out of the standard pressure, it was 1129. So you're talking about 37 feet per second difference between them. They're claiming 50 out of a 4-inch barrel, so 37 from a 3.1 makes total sense right there. All this being said, it's a long story short basically to say this stuff is going to do a fantastic job in the gel. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't, but let's get everything set up. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's winter jelly time. I'm gonna put one of each into the gel, starting with this standard pressure first. Really no doubt in my mind we're going to see some very nice stuff here. I'm just kind of curious about penetration and if these things do clog a little bit, but let's find out. All right, I think that's a good one. Let me go check out and see what I got. That was a good one until it swerved out the side. Here we go already this morning. Let's try this again. See what I can do with this one. Move it over some. All right, that should have been much better. Let me go check that out. All right, that one behaved much better and looks fantastic down there. Really, I had absolutely no doubt. So should be more the same with this right here. I went a little bit low with that one. Let me make sure I stayed out that other track. All right, y'all, no surprise down here. We got us an extra crispy chicken dinner right here. Basically, all three of these rounds did a fantastic job. This first one right here, I mean, you can just look at it. It looks identical to those other two. There's no doubt it expanded well. It actually came out here and skid across the end of the table down there, but I couldn't find a round. I'm sure it's expanded, but fantastic job from all of them. Now, they got real close, but they stayed separate. This one in the middle here, that was the second round I sent down here, but that was the first one we kept from the standard pressure. As you can see, just like HST pretty much always does, comes in here, fantastic energy transfer and disruption, very nice spiral action going through this block all the way through the first block into the second block here, probably 2, maybe 2.5 inches, and looks like some fantastic expansion. And then up above that, more of the same basically. This is the plus P version. Once again, fantastic energy transfer and disruption. Nice spiral looking action again all the way through this block, keeps on trucking into the second block. This one goes about maybe 1/2 inch short of that other one, and looks like it does have some more expansion versus the standard pressure. So as far as the penetration on them, the standard pressure down there is out to exactly 18.5 inches, and then your plus P is actually at 17.5 inches. So absolutely fantastic from both of those. And then here's your close-up look. You can probably get a better view of them since they're so close together. As you can see, they look nearly identical. You wouldn't be able to pick them out of a lineup if you didn't know which was which. Very, very nice from all three of them, really. That one, of course, goes out. And then those kind of crisscross around each other. As you can see, that's the standard pressure in the front. That's the plus P in the back. Actually, not too bad of a view from the top here. Now, looking like this, that middle one, that's going to be the standard pressure, and then the top is the plus P. Again, it's not a whole lot left to say. This stuff does what it's supposed to do pretty much every single time. All right, let's check out these projectiles. Before we do, though, I want to give you just another quick look at this pen, just because my wide angle camera really don't do this thing justice. I mean, look how nice that is. Very, very nice machined titanium. Now, it's a little pricey, admittedly, but I mean, it's machined titanium. That's super expensive. There, you can get a look at the ceramic, hardened ceramic ball there on the end and that spinner. And for lefties, you can do it either way. Well, I ain't a lefty, but you can see there. Just a really, really nice titanium pen. I think this thing is super, super nice. But back to the task at hand. Speaking of super nice, very, very nice stuff right here from both of these. This one is your plus P. This one's the standard pressure. Obviously, there is a pretty significant difference right here. Now, that being said, either one of these would do the job. No doubt about it. But you can see there, especially from the side, that's a very, very big difference as far as the expansion. This is, again, the standard pressure. And this is just a perfect example. This shows perfectly what I'm always talking about and what people are always talking about in the comments. Just a little bit more would do so many of these rounds such wonders. I mean, look at that. That can make the difference with a cheap projectile or kind of cheapish made projectile. This can totally make the difference between absolutely no expansion and acceptable expansion. It just happens to be in this case with HST, either way works because these are some fantastic projectiles. But let's get some numbers and see what we got there. They both started at 124. This standard or plus P version here is exactly 124.0, so absolutely nothing lost there. Probably the same here. This one's at 123.8, so I would say nothing lost from either one of those. And then as far as the expansion size, this is probably going to be very close, even though it's plain to see you had more overall expansion with the with this plus P right here. So with the plus P, you got 5.62 and 5.82, so very, very nice even expansion there. And then from the standard pressure, you got 5.96 and 6.10, so you've actually got a larger ending size just because those pedals didn't peel all the way back and down like they did here on the plus P version. So there you go, y'all, the Federal HST 9mm 124 grain standard and plus P. Absolutely fantastic results from both of these rounds right here. Very nice consistency as far as the velocity, excellent penetration, excellent expansion right here. Just really everything we've come to expect from an HST round. So I think what it boils down to here, if you're making a choice now, I didn't mention recoil wise, you can't tell any difference. You can't tell any difference between recoil on these. Unless you're incredibly recoil sensitive, you're not going to be able to tell the difference in this little bit of velocity difference. So in my opinion, I'm always going with the spicier round. So I'm going with the plus P, but if you're one of those who really doesn't mind either way and you can get one of them at a much better deal than the other one, that's probably the smart move. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for the first of what should be some fantastic testing out here today. Really nice start right here with this 9mm HST. Again, I don't think anybody out there had any doubt we were gonna see some good performance. I was a little curious what the cloth would do to it, the heavy clothing, just because I hadn't seen these side by side, but as you saw, it may have affected it some, but they really didn't care much about it. But let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this stuff. If you had to choose one to run, which one would it be? Why would it be that choice? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. A quick reminder as always, if you're doing any kind of shopping, hit up those affiliate links I've got in the video description. Lots of really good stuff down there, and anything you pick up helps the channel, so I appreciate that. Now again, as far as this titanium pen from Sky Tanner. Very, very nice pen. I don't have any kind of affiliate link. I'm not getting any kind of kickbacks, but I think it's a very cool pen. Huge thanks as always to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I've got a couple more really good ones planned for out here today, so stay on the lookout for those. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.